An excerpt from Lotari, written and read by Freya Pickard. Ashlar Slate stood at the foot of the steep descent, rubbing grit and sand from his face. The heat from the sky drained him, drying his throat, scratching at his skin. The sun was low on the far horizon, and to either side, barren red-pink dunes stretched. Behind him, he heard the steady slither of soil, stone and sand as his two companions slipped and stumbled their way down the almost sheer escarpment. To his left, Kara sat dejectedly, panting heavily, her ruddy fur damp. "Thank Kentor we left the horses behind before we entered the mountains," Steo exclaimed as he came to a halt beside Ash. "I wouldn't have wanted to abandon them up there." Up there was a stone-hard trail with little water and no grazing. The fact that they couldn't have brought the horses up to the ravine they'd been following for the last day and a half appeared to have escaped the Caridian warrior. Ash grimaced briefly, shading his eyes against the glare of the blood-red sun, squinting north and south. His skin shivered as if something or someone with hostile intent watched them unseen. Ashlar frowned and lowered his hand, half closing his eyes, letting his senses spread out. His warrior instinct informed him that they were vulnerable here. His Taku Kavir ability told him clearly that men were waiting close by. Why couldn't he see them? Kara sniffed the air as if she too could sense something not yet visible to her eyes. "What is this god-forsaken place?" Steo gulped down some of their precious water as Rue calmly joined them on the rough sands, flapping her dark skirts free of dirt. "Oh, careful with the water," Ash snapped. "I'm no diviner." "Is this the desert?" Rue gazed around with interest, her lined face lighting up. Ash smothered a chuckle. Trust the herbwoman to find arid desert lands interesting. "Desert? Fathach and Leon, how can we survive?" The younger warrior looked disconcerted and fastened his water flask tightly. Kara rose to her feet, hackles raised, a low growl rumbling in her throat. "You cannot!" Too late, Ashlar detected the whereabouts of the hostile men. He placed a hand on Kara's neck, feeling the smooth red-brown hair bristling beneath his palm. Obediently, she remained beside him, and the growl trailed off. Reluctantly, he admired the men's skill in concealing themselves amongst the dune shadows. There was no aura of power around them, so it was purely their skill in stillness and the clothes they wore that had made them invisible to Ashlar's eyes. "Do not move!" Half a dozen tall, lean men emerged from the landscape. Rue and Steo lifted their hands in surrender, but neither appeared frightened. Ashlar slowly raised his arms, palms forward, hesitant to give in. The Shamir hound stiffened at his side, looking up at him expectantly.